This is Evidence in Silence, a documentary-style true crime podcast. Where the story ends, the questions begin. Castaic Lake, California, August 30th, 2013. A vehicle rested at the base of a steep embankment. The rear window had been forced outward. Personal belongings remained inside. His phone, his wallet, his laptop. Bryce Laspisa was not there. There were no witnesses, no confirmed direction of travel. No indication of where he had gone. He has never been seen again. There are cases that refuse to fade, stories suspended in time, lives interrupted, without warning, without explanation. What remains are fragments, a final movement, a final contact, a silence that remains. Bryce David Laspisa was 19 years old. He was originally from Naperville, Illinois, a suburban community outside Chicago. His parents, Karen and Michael Laspisa, described him as independent. He had moved to California to attend Sierra College. The school was located in Rocklin, approximately 25 miles northeast of Sacramento. He studied graphic and industrial design. He lived in student housing. He maintained regular contact with his parents. Phone calls were frequent. Communication was consistent. There was no history of disappearance, no record of prior missing incidents, no indication that Bryce intended to leave his life behind. In the summer of 2013, he returned to campus for his second year. Classes resumed in August. Friends observed nothing unusual at first. He attended classes. He maintained relationships. He followed routine patterns. But in the days before August 28th, subtle changes began to emerge. Bryce had been involved in a relationship with another student. Her name was Kim. They had been dating for several months. Toward the end of August, Kim noticed a shift. Bryce appeared withdrawn, less expressive, more distant than usual. He began consuming alcohol more frequently. Friends reported increased drinking. This behavior had not been typical. Bryce had previously demonstrated controlled habits, reliable attendance, stable routines. During this period, he also gave away personal possessions, items of value, items without clear reason to discard. The actions were noted, but not immediately interpreted as indicators of disappearance. On August 27th, Bryce ended his relationship with Kim. The separation was described as calm. There was no reported argument, no confrontation, no public disturbance. It appeared sudden, but not violent. Contact with his parents continued. No emergency was reported. At that time, Bryce remained physically present in Rocklin, alive, accounted for, still within his normal environment. On August 28th, Bryce attended classes at Sierra College. There were no reported incidents during the day. No reports of conflict, no reports of injury. That evening, he visited a friend. The friend later stated Bryce had been drinking. Alcohol consumption was confirmed. Bryce remained at the residence for several hours. His condition was described as emotionally subdued. At one point, the friend took Bryce's car keys. This action was intended to prevent him from driving. Bryce did not resist. He remained overnight. On August 29th, he returned to retrieve the keys. He stated he was able to drive. The keys were returned. Bryce entered his vehicle, a 2003 Toyota Highlander. He departed the Rocklin area. This departure would mark the final confirmed time Bryce was seen by those who knew him personally. After leaving Rocklin, Bryce began driving south. His destination was not immediately confirmed. His parents lived in Laguna Niguel, more than 400 miles away. The drive normally required 6 to 7 hours. During the afternoon, Bryce remained in contact with his mother. Phone calls occurred. Text messages were exchanged. At approximately 1 p.m., he informed her he was driving home. There was no emergency stated, no clear reason for the sudden trip. His mother asked if everything was all right. Bryce responded that he was fine. He did not elaborate. Hours passed. His vehicle continued south along Interstate 5. By evening, he had reached Buttonwillow, California, a rural area in Kern County, located approximately 3 hours from his parents' home. At approximately 9 p.m., Bryce stopped his vehicle near a roadside rest area. He remained there. He did not continue driving. His parents became concerned when his progress slowed. Phone contact resumed. Bryce confirmed his location. He stated he was taking a break. He did not indicate distress. He did not request assistance. Time continued to pass. Bryce remained in the same location. Hours elapsed. His vehicle did not move. Concern increased as Bryce remained stationary. Shortly after midnight, his parents contacted local law enforcement. They requested a welfare check. A California Highway Patrol officer was dispatched. The officer located Bryce's vehicle, parked along the roadside. Bryce was inside, alive, conscious, responsive. The officer spoke with him. Bryce stated he was fine. He declined assistance. He did not report injury. He did not report threat. He did not report criminal activity. The officer assessed no immediate danger. No legal cause for detainment existed. Bryce was permitted to remain. The officer departed. Bryce remained at the location. His vehicle did not leave. Morning approached. Bryce was still there. Nearly 8 hours had passed without forward movement. Throughout the morning of August 30th, Bryce remained near Buttonwillow. Phone contact with his parents continued. His responses remained calm. He stated he was coming home. He did not explain the delay. His parents encouraged him to continue driving. Bryce acknowledged. He stated he would resume travel. A roadside assistance technician was later dispatched. This was arranged by his parents. The technician arrived. Bryce was present. The technician later reported Bryce appeared calm. There were no visible injuries, no signs of physical distress, no visible damage to the vehicle at that time. Bryce declined mechanical service. He stated his vehicle was functioning. The technician departed. Bryce remained. He did not resume driving immediately. Hours continued to pass. Nearly 12 hours had elapsed since his arrival in Buttonwillow. He had not progressed closer to home. This extended immobility remains one of the most unusual aspects of the case. There was no confirmed reason for the delay. No mechanical failure. No reported obstruction. No confirmed external threat. Eventually, Bryce resumed driving. He continued south, toward Los Angeles County, toward his parents' home. This would be the final confirmed drive of his life. During the early morning hours of August 30th, 2013, Bryce entered Los Angeles County. He was now less than 2 hours from his parents' home. At approximately 2:15 a.m., his vehicle exited Interstate 5. It entered the Castaic Lake area, a recreational region characterized by steep terrain, remote access roads, limited visibility at night. At approximately 4:30 a.m., a passing motorist observed signs of a crash. A vehicle was located down an embankment. Emergency services were notified. Law enforcement arrived on scene. The vehicle was identified as Bryce's 2003 Toyota Highlander. The rear window had been shattered. The vehicle had traveled down a steep slope, approximately 25 feet below the roadway. The driver's door was open. Bryce was not present. His personal belongings remained inside. His wallet, his phone, his laptop computer. There was no evidence of theft, no evidence that items had been removed. Blood evidence was not publicly confirmed. There were no immediate signs of a violent struggle inside the vehicle. The engine was not running. The keys remained inside. Tire marks were observed along the embankment, indicating the vehicle had traveled downward under momentum. Investigators could not confirm whether the crash had been accidental or intentional. The exact time of the crash was not definitively established. Bryce was not located in the surrounding area. Search efforts began immediately. Law enforcement conducted ground searches around Castaic Lake. The terrain was uneven, covered with brush. Search teams used trained dogs. Helicopters conducted aerial sweeps. Nearby water areas were examined. No confirmed trace of Bryce was located. Hospitals were contacted. No unidentified patients matching his description were admitted. No emergency calls were linked to his identity. Investigators examined his vehicle. There was no confirmed evidence of another occupant. No confirmed evidence of forced entry. His phone remained inside. It showed no outgoing activity after the crash. His bank accounts remained inactive. No withdrawals. No purchases. His laptop was recovered. Public records did not confirm any activity after his disappearance. Surveillance footage from nearby roadways provided limited clarity. No confirmed footage showed Bryce after the crash. His last confirmed location remained Castaic Lake. Investigators interviewed friends, family members, witnesses from Buttonwillow. No confirmed witness reported seeing Bryce after the crash. No confirmed sighting has ever been verified. The investigation remained open. No suspect was publicly identified. No criminal charges were filed. In the years since August 2013, Bryce Laspisa has not been found. No confirmed remains have been recovered. No confirmed communication has occurred. No financial activity has been recorded. No digital activity has been verified. His parents have continued to seek answers. Public appeals were issued. Search efforts continued in the surrounding region. Media coverage periodically resurfaced. Each renewed appeal produced attention, but no confirmed resolution. Investigators have not publicly concluded that foul play has been confirmed. At the same time, no evidence has demonstrated that Bryce established a new identity. His behavior in the hours before his disappearance remains difficult to explain. A prolonged stop without clear cause. Multiple opportunities to continue home. A final crash near his destination. Personal belongings left behind. And no confirmed trace of where he went. The physical evidence ends at the vehicle. The timeline ends at Castaic Lake. Beyond that point, the sequence remains unknown. Whether Bryce left on foot, whether he encountered another person, whether he intended to disappear. These questions remain unanswered. More than a decade later, the case remains open. The final confirmed evidence remains unchanged. A damaged vehicle at the bottom of an embankment, a phone left behind, a wallet untouched, and a 19-year-old student who was less than 2 hours from home. And then, nothing. This has been Evidence in Silence. Where the story ends, the questions remain. Thank you for listening.